Am I the asshole for leaving my sister and her husband in the rain? Throwaway. My girlfriend, Emily, is a food content creator. She loves what she does and her food is always tasty. If she decided to open a restaurant, she would always be fully booked. She does not do professional catering, but she likes to prepare food for friends and family. A little context: a few weeks ago, my sister, Paige, wanted to host a dinner party for her friends and family. 8 guests. She asked Emily to help her design an elaborate course menu. Eventually, this turned into Paige hiring Emily for a night to prepare and cook all the meals. Paige paid half of the agreed amount and promised to pay the remaining balance by a certain date. Emily spent days prepping, cooking, cleaning etc. to make sure the dinner was perfect. She spent the entire day at their house prepping, and she also helped Paige clean the house in preparation for the guests. At first, she says that she was overwhelmed, but nothing she couldn't handle. She was alone working in the kitchen. The guests arrived almost 2 hours earlier than Emily was expecting. According to Emily, my brother-in-law, sister's husband, started to brag about their new, exotic maid, that they hired because of this event. He went on, mentioning how hard it was to understand their maid, because of her accent, or how obedient she is. My sister lives in an open-plan style house, so Emily could hear all of these things in the kitchen. Emily was incredibly uncomfortable the entire time. As soon as she finished, she left. I asked Paige and my brother-in-law to apologize, but they refused. To make it worse, Paige has not paid Emily the rest of her promised money. Every time we call, text, or email etc., she straight up ignores us. I assumed that they had blocked us on all social media, messages etc. It's gross and I am so upset with them. A couple of days ago, Emily posted a new food-related video. It was very good and looked very tasty. About 2 hours later, my sister and her husband are outside my door, in the pouring rain, asking to come in. I was confused, but I assumed that maybe this was their way of apologizing. I did not let them in, I just opened the door a little. I was wrong. Paige mentioned how she saw Emily's post and wanted to come try it for herself. I was stunned. Not only was I disappointed in them for not apologizing or paying Emily, I was shocked by the ridiculousness of their thought process. They would show up for free food like nothing happened, ignoring the fact that Emily doesn't upload her content on the same day she makes it. I asked Paige or my brother-in-law to apologize, and when it was clear that they were making excuses, I said goodbye and shut the door in their face. They sat outside, with no umbrella or a rain jacket, for almost an hour, calling our names and spamming our doorbell. I got a call from my bill, demanding me to apologize because I got Paige sick. Emily thinks I may have been a bit too petty. Not the asshole. This is what I like to call, fuck around and find out. They were rude the whole way through. You should also take them to small claims court where they will be forced to pay up the remainder of what's owed, though you may want to go to a legal subreddit or a lawyer to see what you can do. Are sis and brother-in-law people or cartoon villains? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You didn't leave them in the rain. They chose to stay in the rain to yell at you. They were perfectly able to leave and get out of the rain. They cannot blame you for their choices. As for Emily's payment, it might be necessary to take them to small claims court. That is if she thinks it is worth it. Not the asshole. Your sis and brother-in-law are disgusting people. Personally, I'd 1. Reimburse Emily for the other half as she accepted the job because it was your sister too. Treat her to something special as a way to apologize for the treatment she endured. 3. Tell sis and brother-in-law the owed amount is now $X, the half they owed plus treat cost plus convenience fee, and that you are going NC with them until they 1. Pay $X 2. Apologize to Emily. 4. Tell parents about number 3. Not the asshole. You cannot hire someone to provide a service and not pay them. The law does not allow that. The audacity of them to then show up to taste her new dish is beyond. They did not pay girlfriend and then expect to be able to continue enjoying her food. Hard stop. Have your girlfriend file a case with small claims court. Let them tell a judge exactly why they didn't pay. I would also tell girlfriend to post a reel of the dinner she catered and helped prepare the house for. I would include in the caption, "That time I got called an exotic maid and then the people that hired me," tag them in the post, then had the audacity not to make the final payment. Let the court of public opinion make their own judgment. Match energy. Info. Why did they stay standing out in the rain? Are they actually insane? Was it rain or more like drizzle? Am I the asshole for walking out of my 5-year-old niece's birthday party and taking her present with me? I 24 female, my niece 5 female, and my sister-in-law Megan 25 female. Yesterday was my niece's birthday. My niece is my sister-in-law's firstborn, and my sister-in-law is currently pregnant with her 4th child. When I received the invitation to the party, there was a note asking everyone to not forget about the mommy when shopping for birthday gifts. That my niece's birthday was also meant to celebrate the woman who carried her for 9 months. I will be honest, I'm not Megan's biggest fan. I've always found her to be a large drama queen. So when I read that I was supposed to bring her a present to her daughter's birthday party, I was annoyed and knew I would be doing no such thing. For my niece's birthday, I made her a large wool hand-crocheted blanket and matching teddy bear. When it came time to open gifts, it was Megan sitting on a chair in the center of the living room with my nieces sitting on the floor next to her. Megan opened every single present, even the ones meant for my niece. It was only after she was done she would hand the open present to my niece. When it came time to open my present, I watched as Megan opened my gift, shuffled past the teddy bear and blanket, and proceeded to search for her gift. When Megan found no other present, she looked up and asked me if there was another present from me in the pile. I responded, no. Disappointed, Megan took the blanket out of the box and proceeded to ask me questions like, "Where did you get such a cute blanket?" and, "I hope you didn't break the bank with such an extravagant present." Her tone of voice came across as sincere, but the way she stared at me across the room definitely gave me a different impression. I responded to her questions by saying that I made the teddy bear and blanket myself and that it was no trouble for my little niece. Megan chuckles and asks me in front of the whole party if I had actually made the gifts. I responded absolutely. Megan and I go back and forth in front of everyone for a minute, but Megan ends the conversation by saying I didn't actually make the gifts because I didn't collect the wool for the blanket or make the buttons on the bear myself. That for something to be handmade you have to use only your hands from start to finish, otherwise it doesn't count. After my mill pulled me aside, she was extremely upset with me for antagonizing Megan. No one in the family likes Megan, but my in-laws play nice because when they didn't, Megan and her husband moved halfway across the country. They just recently moved back to town. After my mill thoroughly lectured me on keeping the peace, she asked me to leave the party, go buy Megan a present, and to come back when I am ready with an apology. Instead, I left the party and took my presents with me. All day today I have been playing telephone with friends and relatives of Megan. All of them accusing me of ruining my niece's birthday party and telling me I'm an asshole for stealing my niece's birthday presents. Edit. My intentions for taking the present was to rewrap the gift and give it to my niece one-on-one so she could actually open a birthday present. After her mom opened the present, she put it back in the box and back on the table. She didn't actually give the gift to my niece. Not the asshole. It's really strange that an adult woman would try and make her daughter's birthday about herself. That's what her own birthday is for. After my mill pulled me aside, she was extremely upset with me for antagonizing Megan. Let's talk about who antagonized who here. I didn't actually make the gifts because I didn't collect the wool for the blanket or make the buttons on the bear myself. That for something to be handmade you have to use only your hands from start to finish, otherwise it doesn't count. This is wild. You made a thoughtful gift for the person who was actually celebrating a birthday and you got bullied for it. You're not in the wrong at all. Not the asshole. I see in the comments that you intend to present your niece with your wonderful, heartfelt gift at another time, when she can open it without her awful mother demanding center stage and being a petty. Can't finish this sentence without violating the rule to be civil. What in the hell was your brother, or brother-in-law, thinking when he married this harpy? Why do people feel the need to appease her? I hope you and your niece have a lovely afternoon very soon, naming the bear and learning his backstory. So your sister-in-law threw a party for herself on your niece's birthday and got mad when you only brought a present for your niece? I'd go no contact with her. This woman may have had a baby, but she clearly is no adult. Not the asshole. Megan sounds like a 25-year-old spoiled child. To the point that she seems delusional. I've never heard of a parent expecting presents on their child's birthday. Not the asshole. Megan needs professional help. I mean, if she's getting technical, then doesn't her husband also deserve a gift since he's the reason she's pregnant to begin with? Not the asshole. Your sister-in-law sounds unbearable. She also doesn't sound like she's cut out to be a mom. Having children means putting them first, not taking over the spotlight every opportunity you get. Am I the asshole for kicking my brother and his wife from my house? My wife, 31 female, and I, 30 male, had a baby 4 months ago. My wife has been suffering from PPD and she's had a lot of breakdowns here and there, and it was just so heartbreaking to see. I decided to give her a day to herself and take care of the baby. So I took a small leave from work, gave her my card, and told her to do what she needs to do for herself. My brother, 35 male, and his wife, 34 female, came over the same day she was out for a visit and asked me where she was. I told them she was out doing her own things and they asked why I was babysitting the baby. I told them it wasn't babysitting when it's my own child and I was giving my wife some time to herself. My sil scoffed at me and told me she should be home like a good mom, and my brother laughed and agreed, saying that taking care of a baby is easy. I got pissed at him and told him, of course it'd be easy for you, because you live with mom, so you could just dump the baby on her. He and his wife got pissed and started yelling at me, so I kicked them out and told them to never come back unless they apologized. I told my wife about it and she was sad that I fought with my brother because of her, but I reassured her that I didn't care because she was important. I got a call from my mom saying she agreed with me but told me I was a bit harsh for what I said to him, and I can't help but feel like an asshole for that. Am I the asshole? You weren't the asshole the moment they said the word babysitting. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You didn't fight with your brother because of your wife. You fought with your brother because he's an aw. I told my wife about it and she was sad that I fought with my brother because of her. Reassure her you did it because they are a pair of judgmental bell ends and it was nothing to do with her. Hope she had a nice day. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You're a awesome dad and husband. Your brother and sil should be taking notes from you instead of offering their unsolicited advice. Part of being a good mom is being in the right headspace. You were allowing your wife to do just that. Your brother and sil need to butt out and let you parent your child. They can go back to mom's house and keep doing what they do. Not the asshole. You literally spoke the truth. I wish my husband was so understanding. Not the asshole. Thank you for being a good dad. Pregnancy takes a lot out of a woman, and then taking care of an infant who has needs round the clock, feeding, diapering, etc. just adds to that stress on a woman both physically and mentally. You did right by your wife and child, and that's what matters in the end. Don't feel guilty. Your brother and sil were definitely TA in this situation. Am I the asshole for telling my sil I'll take her kids to Disney World but not her? So my husband and I are child-free and more well-off than most of our siblings. We bought a house young, have steady careers, and minimal expenses. We enjoy being child-free, but I am also very fond of my nieces and nephew, 4 nieces and 1 nephew from varying siblings on my husband and I's sides, and have worked to be a part of all PF their lives. I make special trips for birthdays, help their parents with cleaning, yard work, and cooking as much as I can. My philosophy is it takes a village and I can be a part of that village. 2 years ago one of my SILs on my husband's side lost her father. He lived in Europe and they had a strained relationship, so he never met my niece, who we will call E. So my sil ended up going to his funeral, but E and brother-in-law didn't go. E was 8 and got out of school a week after her mom left, and brother-in-law was struggling to keep things in order. My husband and I stopped by and cooked dinners, but we had an existing vacation planned, so we offered to take E with us. It was a camping trip. Nothing fancy, but she loved it and had a great time, so we let her come with us on several more trips since then. Cut to now. My brother and his wife had kids young and have always been broke. It's been a hard year from them, and my sil was talking about how badly they needed a break. My husband, E, and I had planned a trip for Disney World over fall break, so I talked it over with my husband and offered to take their 2 kids with us as well. My sil got excited and said she would text my brother to get the time off work ASAP. I was confused and clarified I just meant take the kids with us so they had a bit of a break. Sil ended up getting mad and asking, "What about us? You're just gonna leave us at home to do nothing while you guys have fun? I've never even been to Disney World." I told her I didn't mean it like that, but she's pretty pissed and won't let her kids go if they can't also go. AITA? Not the asshole. People are so weird about spending other people's money. Not the asshole. If anything, sil is the aw. She should be grateful her kids will get to enjoy a fun trip that they couldn't afford to give their kids. The fact she's not letting them go with you shows she's immature and ungrateful. Shitty the kids will not get to go. But also keep in mind it's not your responsibility to pay for their trip. Not the asshole. Her inability to understand and appreciate the gift you are giving them, a break from the kids, in no way makes you an asshole. Not the asshole. You offered to give them a break by taking their kids on a fun vacation. Paying for 2 kids is quite different than paying for 2 kids plus 2 adults. You made a nice offer and your sil got entitled. Not the asshole. I would say approach this situation with empathy, not that you aren't, and speak to your brother about this. Let him know that the offer was for his children and he will definitely have a talk with your sil, his wife. Tough situation, but definitely don't respond until you and your brother have consulted on this issue. Very strange from the sil. Not the asshole. The fun aunt is a fabulous person for a child to have in their lives. My husband and his siblings had an aunt like that. She'd take each of them on adventures to Europe, teach them to drive, go on crazy road trips with them. It's a huge gift to take their children to Disney World. They should be grateful that their kids will be able to have a wonderful experience with family that they wouldn't be able to afford for them. I'm sure they'd have fun too, but if they really need a break, a few days just the 2 of them away from the kids is a huge break and a chance for the 2 of them to spend some alone time together. And #X200B. Info. If they wanted to pay their own way, they'd be welcome to come along?